Andrew, a sense of deja vu. 4 years ago at the Oval, it all kicked off, and on the fourth day, and here we are again. How do you feel?
Yeah, well, I feel pretty similar really, because I don't like the game of cricket being on the front pages for the wrong reasons. And you know, clearly there are only allegations at this stage, but you know, I suppose they're allegations of the worst kind. So you know, for those of us that love the game of cricket, it's not a good thing.
Okay, Paul, and then over here.
Andrew, how would you describe the atmosphere between the teams today? Did you talk to Salman Bus or any of the Pakistan players about it since this came up?
No, I haven't spoken to any of their players. No, I think just the atmosphere in our team was firstly that, you know, we had a job to do, we had a responsibility to the game to get on that field and finish the job off, and not just to the game of cricket, but also to, you know, the players in our team that had put in outstanding performances over the course of the game. So from that sense, you know, there's a real feeling that we should get out there and make sure we do the job properly, which thankfully we're able to do. But you know, ultimately, this isn't about us. It's about the Pakistan cricket team. So you know, we're thankful we've got the job done, and you know, once the dust settles, I think hopefully we can appreciate that we've played some really good cricket and won a wonderful Test match.
Thank you.
Andrew, have you heard anything at all from ECB this morning on this matter?
No. I mean, I think clearly their thoughts were for us to make sure that we got the cricket right first and not worry too much about stuff that could potentially distract us. But look, there's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, there's a lot of people locking heads together and deciding what the way forward is from here.
Colin, then Tim, then Colin.
As the wickets fell today, there seemed to be a fairly subdued reaction. Have you known a feeling like that on the field before?
Maybe when a team's 600 for 2, you get a similar sort of feeling when you take a wicket. I mean, look, I think we were very pleased to finish the game off, and as I said, it was an outstanding performance, an outstanding turnaround from the guys. But you know, we all realise that there's a greater context to this, and it's a pretty somber context and not one that we really want to be involved in.
Tim.
Andrew, you talked about getting the job done, which you did. What was the chit chat like amongst the players? I mean, was there real shock and surprise amongst the players, or maybe not?
No, there was definitely a huge amount of shock and surprise. I mean, there's no doubt about that. For no minute did we suspect anything was happening in this Test match. And you know, there are only allegations at this stage, but when you're sitting there watching the news at 10, you don't expect to see your match as the leading article in the news. So, and you know, we all know that these sort of allegations are the worst type in any sport.
Coffee, thanks, and then John.
Andrew, several years ago at Centurion, England were an astounding Test match. Subsequently, turned out things weren't quite as they seemed. Does it feel a bit similar now?
Well, look, I think the other events, the allegations have overshadowed the Test match at this stage, but you know, I still think the guys have got every right to feel very proud of their performances. You know, Broad and Trott, that was without doubt the best partnership I've seen by two England players, and they shouldn't forget that, and they should. You know, I don't think for 1 minute they should believe that it wasn't completely authentic. And the bowlers obviously followed suit and did a very good job as well. So I think once the dust settled, the guys will still be proud of the fact that we won the Test match and won the series convincingly. But right at the moment, with the kind of emotion that's around it, it's hard to get too caught up in that side of things.
John.
Andrew, have you sensed at any moment in this series that you're playing against a team who are trying anything other than 100%?
No, I haven't. Simple as that. I haven't.
Can I ask you sort of about Mohamed Amir, who's an 18-year-old bowler, seemingly with the world at his feet as a cricketer. I mean, purely as a bowler, he would be very impressive for someone of his age.
No doubt. I mean, for an 18-year-old, you know, well, I mean, you don't usually play against 18-year-olds, but you know, the skills he has with the ball are outstanding, and he's shown his capabilities time and time again in the series.
If he's been sort of sucked into something that he shouldn't have been sucked into, it's clearly a great shame, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, we don't know at this stage. Only allegations.
Andrew, allegations rumours of match fixing have been rumbling for years now. Do you think that if this finally proves to be an opportunity to lance the ball, that something good could actually come of this instance?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, I do. I mean, they're only allegations again, so I don't think we can comment on them specifically. But there have been rumours, and with all rumours, they can't be proved categorically one way or another. Hopefully, this is a situation where things can be proved categorically one way or another. And if that leads to a cleaner sport in the future, that can only be a good thing.
Are you happy to continue playing against a team that's facing such serious allegations?
Well, look, I mean, they're only allegations, so at this stage it'd be wrong to draw too many conclusions. As I said, I think it's important we let the dust settle. From our point of view, we're going to sit down and hopefully have a couple of drinks and celebrate the fact we won the series tonight. And then, over the next few days, I'm sure a lot of things will become a lot clearer in all sorts of different respects.
Sorry. Do you think it's possible that the one-day series will not take place in view of the series?
Well, I mean, look, that's something for the ICC, the England Cricket Board and the Pakistan Cricket Board to sit down and decide what the best way forward is. Clearly, there are going to be some very strong reasons for the series to go ahead, but we've also got to they're going to have to sit down and think about what the right thing to do is going forward, and that's their decision.
Do you think they'd be comfortable playing?
I think it's just so hard to say with incomplete information at this stage. I think let's let the dust settle and see where we are in a few days.
Okay.
We've had situations where match fixing has come before, and there has been inquiries and investigations before, and in fact some players have been banned only to be spotted again as members of coaching staff and things like that. As a result, would you implore the ICC or the administrators that if they find any player guilty of these irregularities, that they actually take the harshest punishments?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I'll say is clearly with a lot of these match-fixing allegations, it's so hard to prove things categorically one way or another, which is one of the real difficulties with it. But if someone is found categorically guilty of doing it, the only way for me is for you not be able to play international cricket again.
Andrew, can you clarify the key restrictions on you from the ACU on both sides before the series, whether you have a meeting, whether mobile phones are banned in the dressing room? Can you just clarify the key things that you have to observe?
The simple things are no phones in the dressing room. They've obviously got the anti-corruption officer that is at every test match, and he'll come in and check that that's being adhered to. But the other thing is that they keep drilling into us is that if at any time you suspect anything that might be inappropriate, whether it's to you or one of your teammates, you actually have a responsibility to report it. Otherwise, you could be seen to be a part of it one way or another. So those are the two kind of fundamental strands to how they try and manage things. And from our point of view, it's never been an issue.
Andrew, everybody here is saying the match fixing, and which I know there is no match fixing if both the teams are not involved. In this case, what is the position of you and your team? And secondly, how you rectify the world record if it is happened, the match fixing?
Well, look, I think all I'll say from our point of view is that every single game of cricket I play for England, I've been 100% sure that we are giving everything we can to win that game of cricket. So I'm very comfortable saying that. I can't speak for other teams. I just don't know what goes on in other teams. And that's probably all I can say on that subject.
Simon, thank you.
You mentioned that players would have to report anything suspicious. Firstly, has that ever happened to England in your knowledge? And secondly, were you surprised, I know these are allegations, but are you surprised about the amounts of money that are involved and mentioned in these allegations?
Firstly, not that I know of in terms of players being approached or reporting stuff, but clearly there have been reports in newspapers about certain things happening in county games, etc. But you know, I wasn't involved in them, so I don't know about it personally. In terms of the amounts of money, I just don't think I can comment on it too much. You know, it seems that you know, there's a lot of money that's to be made in gambling one way or another. So in that sense, it's not that surprising.
Okay, thank you. Cricket questions only. Last, Andrew, do you have anything?
Mine wasn't actually entirely cricket related, but
Okay, well,
it's
thanks very much,
at the edge.
everyone.